Morning. All right, mobility today, world's greatest strength. So just walk yourself out, guys, into a high plank. Stay here for just a second. Let's get our mind right. Just kind of get that core fired up, shoulders fired up a little bit. Roll around the wrist. I've been adding to the world's greatest, making it even greater. If you guys can see me, I'm just doing big circles to open up my wrist a little bit. Forearms. All right, now take your front view here. Left leg, bring it up next to your left arm, left hand. Drop your back leg. Keep it long and strong. Straight. There's your glutes. Skylar, try to squeeze that glute and drive it into the floor while keeping your head and chest up. So you're in that grasshopper position. Back leg is still long and strong. Drop the hips, chest up. Push that front knee out. Push it away from your body. You kind of rotate your upper body in the opposite direction. Using that right hand, press it into the floor. Keeping the hips low. Stay here for a second and let that inner thigh open up. Now, take your left hand, rotate your upper body. Left elbow toward the ground. And then exhale up and around into that windmill position. Airplane position, whatever you want to call it. 2 more times. Rotate that left elbow down to the ground. Exhale up and around. Press that bottom hand into the floor, really making that long arm. And then 1 more time. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Pressing that hand into the floor. Now shift all your weight to the back leg. So you're in a triangle position. Front leg is now straight. Back leg could be bent, but all that pressure is on your front leg, front hamstring. Squeeze that quad, open up the hammies, and lift your toes up off the ground. Good morning, calves. Stay there for a second. Move those hips, floss them a little bit, see if you can dig around a little bit deeper in the hamstrings. Now go ahead and drop those toes down. Bring your other leg back up to center to meet your other leg. Stay in this ragdoll position for a second. Hang out. Give yourself a nice big hug. Shift your upper body left and right. Nod your head yes, nod your head no. And then take a big giant step backward with your left leg. So now your right leg is up front. You're in that grasshopper position now, or half of a grasshopper. Back leg is long and strong. Squeeze that left glute. Drive that hip into the floor. Keep it straight if you can. If not, it's okay. Just do what you can to activate that glute as much as possible. Now take that right arm, right hand, and press that right hip out, away from your body. Open up the inner thigh. Now take that right arm, right shoulder, drop it to the ground if you can, and then exhale up and around, press that left hand into the floor. Rinse and repeat. Right arm to the floor, elbow. Exhale up and around. Squeezing that left glute. 1 more time, elbow to the ground. Exhale up and around. Back leg long and strong. Driving the hip into the floor. Take that right hand, put it on the outside of the right leg. Shift all your weight to the back leg. Now your right leg is straight, your front leg. Squeezing the quads. And bring those toes up off the ground on the right side now. That one's way worse than the other end. Squeeze the quad, Shift your weight to the back. Try to pull your hip back. Your right hip back. Straighten that leg. And you can bring your left leg back to center. Another ragdoll. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then roll up one vertebrae at a time to a standing position. Woo, good morning, Friday. Your warm-up today, 2 exercises. First one, sprinter crunch. Here, flat position. Big exhale on the way up. Think about rotating your upper body, meeting your knee to your elbow halfway through, and then back down. So it's every time you're coming in and out. All the way back to a flat position. We're doing 10, so it's 5 each side. And next up, squat thrust. Standing position. Plank position. Up, jump. That's all it is. But I want you to establish stability here before you come back up to this position. Okay, so I'm going to stage it up. A little bit more like robotic almost. Take your time with it, don't just flop around. Use this time to get prepared for your work. Create a pace for yourself. 1 minute of work, 1 minute of rest, 3, 1, 5, 1. Questions, comments, concerns? Your 5 exercises today are the following. First one, alternating dumbbell snatch. So one side at a time. The goal is to get the weight from the floor to the ceiling, okay? Using a deadlift position here, a little bit of a kettlebell swing, almost, right? Popping those hips, pop, and then from there, continuing to follow that weight. That was slow motion and a little painful. Don't do it slow, okay? So you want that power from the floor, pressing into the floor, driving that weight up and over your head, keeping it as close to your body as possible. You guys don't have super duper heavy weights, so it's going to be really easy for you, maybe, right? But your job is to keep it close to your body, pull, and then guide it all the way up. We're doing 10 each side. 10 each side. If you have super duper heavy weights, then you can do 5 each side. Know where you're at today, know where your situation is, but that's our first exercise, okay? Next up, forward to reverse bear crawl. Here's some more quads for you there, Skylar and Kevo. Bear crawl position here, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. All you are is an inch, maybe 2 above the floor, and you're taking your steps, opposite. So it's left arm, right knee. Staying, hovering the floor, okay? Now, you can go reverse. You don't have that much room in your house, right? So try to walk backwards. It's also going to be a little bit of hand-eye coordination too. I got to think about it sometimes if I'm not really cranking through it, okay? So forward to reverse, don't rush those. Let them suck a little bit. That's the purpose for your core and also your hand-eye coordination, right? Working, you know, unilateral as well. Now we put 40 feet. I don't know where you're at, your living space, your workout space, what 40 feet would look like, but maybe it's 3 forward, 3 back, 5 forward, 5 back. Know where you're at, but just try to get 40 feet in, 20 forward and 20 back. Okay, I don't know how many steps that's going to be for you. Maybe 20, if you were to count in your head, 20 forward, 20 back. That may be, you know, approximately 40 feet. Next up, kettlebell swings. Here's some glutes, all glutes. Keeping that kettlebell close to your zipper, keeping it above your knee, all hips, pinching back, all glutes, okay? Feel it in the glutes, squeeze the glutes. Just one example earlier with the knee. That's just one reason why it's important to strengthen the glutes. 15 of those. Skylar, if you're feeling froggy, you want to do 25, I'm not going to hate it. Okay? Next up, Irish get-ups. Don't know why they're called Irish get-ups. Literally have no idea why, but here's what they look like. Okay, notice I come up with my left, and then I go down with my left first, and that's one. I come up with my right, go down with my right first, that's one on that side. That's how you do each side unilateral, okay? And that's 10 each. Next up, those of you who have, I think everybody in the room has done a Turkish get-up. Almost positive by now. If you've been here more than a month, you have. But depending on where you're at in the Turkish get-up, mastery, just a few things I want you to think about, and I'm going to remind you of while you're doing that. Always start with a safe position. First, dumbbell, kettlebell, bag of sand, dog, I don't care what it is, keep it close to your body, and then roll onto your back. Now you're in a good position to just press it up. Okay? That's first. Number two, trying to keep that weight, keep an eye on it. No matter what. You may not have the strength, or you may be tired, not paying attention, you have weight above your head. Okay, so pay attention to that. Super important, number two. Number three, on this side, if you can see, it's over my shoulder. I talk about it all the time. The best support system you have is when that weight is directly over a stacked joint or stacked joints. This bottom hand is your support. And if you still look from the side, my elbow's under the shoulder, shoulder, elbow, wrist. It's still stacked. Same thing here. It's stacking from the ground up. Okay, super important for you to pay attention to. Don't ever do that, by the way, when you're doing those. Now, if you're not at the stage of doing full get-ups, then that's fine. Or if you're not feeling like it today, that's fine. But do this instead. Just roll up here. Or maybe you want to go to here today. And then back down. That's fine. Or you're doing full get-ups. Either way, you guys should know by now where you're at and what you're feeling like. Okay? Especially you don't have to compete with anybody. You're in your own home. So know your limits. We're doing 3 each. Whatever you choose. Either a roll-up or a roll-up to bridge or a full get-up. We're doing 3 each.